What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Sugiredo, or Food for the Soul, this time of episode 7, I think it is. Good episode last week. If I remember correctly, we had a bunch of fitness stuff, getting fit. It's not like anyone was even fat, to be honest with you. She just unfortunately couldn't fit into the usual clothes that she wore. But I quite like that. Again, I did study that in college, so I had probably a bit more of an interest in it than most people. But yeah, it was a fun episode. Looks like we've got a bit of a flashback here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. To be honest, it's almost like you could switch their current designs with these ones and they wouldn't look that much younger. It wouldn't be too jarring to see their current designs in this time. Sub camp. So I'm not sure if that was her, but that one of those girls especially looked like the one leading the pack in this shot. The name's an absolute myth for me, so apologies, but she looked like this girl. Pretty sure it is her, but I didn't think any of these people actually met till now. I guess perhaps they did. Does anyone know if the full version of the song is out yet? I've been really waiting for it. This is my favourite part of the opening. I don't think I'll ever forget. Oh, that's just, they do realise they know each other. Okay. Probably I think that was probably discussed early on in the season, but yeah, don't remember. That was last year. I get, yeah. I'm a puzzle guy. I like my puzzles. I don't really play many in person, but I love a bit like chess. I love my survival horror games, which inevitably have tons of puzzles in. Silent Hill, Resident Evil. Resident Evil less so nowadays, but well, they have some nowadays, but they're not nearly as complex as some of the older ones. And yeah, stuff like that. I love stuff like that. Yeah, like a Sudoku, crossword, anything like that. Ao Sorada. That reminds me of Grand Blue coming back next season, I believe. Ao Sorada. This is the retro train. It's pretty normal to me. When I say it looks normal, I mean it looks pretty modern for what you'd consider a retro train. It looks more modern than the trains we've got in the UK. I'll say that. Trains are quite a big thing in the UK. There's quite a big collection of people quite obsessed with train watching and stuff. I remember this kid in high school used to go crazy for this stuff. He was quite an outcast kind of kid. He was a bit strange. And yeah, he used to be really into trains. You can imagine a lot of people made fun of him. It's just how nasty kids are, though, isn't it? Like we're in Italy or something. Why did it focus on that? Like this is all your life is hanging by. So I'm not too scared of heights. I don't think. I've never been anywhere crazy high. I'm much more of a I'm not awfully claustrophobic, but I have had bad experiences as a kid. I think I've mentioned before about like a match, like people piling up, and I was like, we had mats and we jumped on each other, and I was like right near the bottom, and I was like struggling to breathe, and that was yeah, a bit scary. So yeah, I said that probably the closest to it is I'm probably claustrophobic, but I don't know if I'd actually say I am. I don't. Thing is, I don't put myself in situations where I need to be claustrophobic. Like I'll always take the stairs if there's a lift available. I'll pretty much again always take the stairs, no matter how many stairs I have to go up and stuff like that. This is classic British stuff right here. You go away for the summer, your friends about to like camp out or do something awesome, and then it's just randomly started raining for a week. Brilliant. I think Japan weather is quite similar to UK weather, judging from what I've seen in anime. Bit more extreme, of course. What movie are we gonna watch? A horror movie? I think that's pretty classic when you're with a group of people. Again, this reminds me of when I went camping with my friends. I unfortunately shouldn't. It's not the worst horror movie ever, but maybe a bit too extreme. It was Devil's Rejects from Rob Zombie. Yeah, I knew it'd be a horror movie. It's got to be when you're with your friends like this. Yeah, showing the Devil's Rejects, which is pretty fucked up. It's not. It's probably one of the less fucked up horror movies I've seen, but not. I wouldn't say less. It's definitely more extreme than a normal horror movie, but it's not. I've seen much worse. Is what I'm trying to say. I haven't seen. I think there's a few really messed up ones. I think it's a Serbian movie, which I'm probably never gonna watch because I've heard it's just awful. But I've seen things like akin to that. So Devil's Rejects isn't too bad to me, but it's probably a bit too extreme for the situation I was in when I shoot people. But yeah, you can't go wrong with a classic zombie movie or something. Shaun of the Dead. I remember my friend showed me Shaun of the Dead when I was like 10 or something, and my god, I absolutely loved it. So we're going to reminisce a bit here. I think I said this before, but that same guy I was talking about with the trains accidentally, um, one of the guys that was most critical of him, I guess, and took the piss out of him the most probably. One day we were playing softball. I think it's called, which you don't play all too often in the UK. We usually play we're doing something like that. It's usually rounders, I think it is. We do cricket every now and then sometimes softball. Never done baseball or anything like that, I don't think. But the bats were proper heavy, proper wooden bats, and he accidentally. I don't think anyone cared at all, but yeah, he accidentally after he hit the ball, he just absolutely swung the bat behind him, and the guy that probably again took the piss out of him the most was on the catch, and so it smacked him in the head. He had to go to hospital, and yeah, I'm not sure how accidental it was, but nobody really brought up a fuss about it. Nobody really cared. So yeah, that's quite a funny little memory looking back. Bit of justice, I guess. You always feel bad when you think about situations like that. It's like you kind of wish you'd done something, or yeah, but then you realise you were just a stupid kid. I was a totally different person as a kid. You wish you'd like stick up for people when you look back on situations and stuff like that. But yeah, just a kid. You kind of go with the crowd. You yeah, don't want to get targeted yourself or anything. Yeah, that was a really funny moment. Good, good. So that's like as a football player, that's like kind of my perfect type of weather. Playing football, just a few hours after it rained, pitch is nice and wet. The ball skids off it nicely, but it's not slippy. Perfect. Right now in the summer, I'm not playing too much because the season ended, but the ground is just stupidly hard and it really hurts. Oh, there definitely was. You can share your memories as well. You can do it anyway. I was hoping she would in that past scene, but I just think now, in a few years, you'll be able to tell stories about these moments. The classic beach episode. Actually, I said earlier about claustrophobia. This is probably my biggest fear because I can't swim too well. My biggest fear is going in the ocean. Again, as a kid, you just kind of go along with things, and my friends would there would be a river nearby that they'd jump in, and I jumped in as well, and it was really deep, and I was always really scared of genuinely dying. Which I don't know if it sounds funny. It probably doesn't sound too funny, but it feels like I would have just got like absolutely ridiculed for not doing it. But I done it and I survived. I'm not sure how, to be honest. That's the thing that I'm not too good at swimming because I'm actually decent at swimming and moving in the water. It's just I've never learned how to float. I've never learned how to like. Don't know if you've got to keep breathing in or hold your breath or what. I think I always would hold my breath because I didn't want any water to get in my mouth, and I think doing that makes you sink. So I was never like, yeah, I just can't float. Probably the practice, to be honest. But I've always been like, if I get in the water, I always have to like keep moving. So I'm not too bad at like swimming. I can keep moving okay and like breathe when I'm like when I need to. But it's when I have to stop moving. It's like that's when I'd be really scared. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have ever gone in the water, especially. I mean, this was years after, but unfortunately, a bit of a dark turn of this story here. To be honest with you, I guess this is a bit of a reminiscent episode in general. Although this I wouldn't call reminiscing. I'd say yeah, there was a girl whose brother ended up swimming in a similar lake near my school, and unfortunately she couldn't swim, and her older sister, who was in my year, went to save her, and I think she did save her, but unfortunately, the girl that went to save her drowned and died, which is very dark. It was a spot where pretty much everyone at the school used to like party at in the summer. Like the older people would party there when we were younger, and it was our kind of years to party there. And then that happened, and it was like, oh shit, that place got closed off quick time. I'm pretty sure it's probably still closed off. So yeah, that took a pretty dark turn. Apologies, but that like just like after years when that happened, I was just thinking, oh shit, that so easily could have just been me. Because again, I wasn't like the strongest person in the war or anything. And yeah, I've had a lot of moments like that, to be honest. I remember one time, I was waiting outside my dad's work. He did security work, and he picked us up after school. They went back to work at security for a few hours, and we'd wait in the back of the car. It didn't happen too often, but that happened every now and then. And I was so stupid. I was like, "What does this button do?" And it was the I don't know what it's called because I don't drive, but the it's probably one of the reasons I don't drive. I put the thing down so when your car stopped, it doesn't move. I pushed it down, and it was a really steep hill, and there was a river at the bottom, and the car just started rolling down the hill with me and my sister in. Um, and luckily, it got stopped by a fence quite early towards the hill. But I always think about that moment about being like, well, could have easily got stuck in the car and died and drowned then as well. It's quite scary to think about. I've had quite a few close calls like that, to be honest. But I'm still here. I won't be doing anything like that ever again. Again, probably one of the reasons I don't drive to this day. I think I'm less scared about putting my life in danger. It's more so I was like, I'd be constantly worried about that. Sorry to get all deep there. I think it's called the clutch. I put the clutch down. Ooh, I love a good tomato. Again, I'm very paradoxical with tomatoes. I love a tomato. I hate tomato sauce. I like tomato sauce. I hate ketchup. I like tomato sauce and I like tomatoes, but I don't like ketchup. See, those ingredients look really nice. But I can guarantee this dish is not going to look all that great. I don't know why it just happens in this show that the end product doesn't look nearly as good as when they're cooking it. Also, maybe I'm being crazy here, but I don't think I've ever had tomato on a pizza. I've had tomato sauce, obviously, but I'm not sure I've ever had tomato sauce and tomato on a pizza. See, it just doesn't look all that appetizing, does it? It looks alright, but look at it. It doesn't look nearly as good as like the tomatoes they were cutting up or the mushrooms or. It looked so much better before they cooked it. What is that called then? Atto Cola. You just down that all in one sip. Man, there is something a bit different about a Coca-Cola out of a bottle, out of a bottle, isn't there? Something a bit sweeter and nicer about it than that of a can. Food finished. Tell you what, the cola always reminds me of I think it's got I can't remember who it is, but the guy who had the vanilla cola, that crystal cola. I think it was crystal cola, and it was like 20 years old or something. And this guy used to do all kinds of disgusting challenges, and he drunk this like 20-year-old out of date cola. And yeah, that takes me back. That does. That's early YouTube. Not early, but I was young. Good. So why is it earlier? I think it was a. I think it's a bigger deal than you're making it out to be. To be honest, I think she's just trying to make light of it a little bit. That was nice, wasn't it? That was nice. nice. Oh, there they are. Fireworks. And you know what? All that fitness last episode prepared you for this. Splendid sight. I'm pretty sure she didn't say that. It sounds so formal. Okay, that was nice, wasn't it? Very nostalgic episode. I brought up a few stories, of course. To be honest, if you're thinking back, I don't really remember. I never really remember too much of my like young childhood, to be honest. A lot that I do remember is I used to go to a lot of not too many theme parks, but a lot of, like fairs. I used to love fairground rides and big rides and fast rides and stuff like that. So yeah, they're probably most of my memories with stuff like that. Probably one of the reasons I got massively into horror, because inevitably at a lot of these fairs there was a lot of, I remember especially seeing like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees plastered all over the kind of artwork for a lot of rides. And I was always intrigued. Like I was always quite scared walking by. I would always see them and get quite scared and a little bit nervous. So yeah, remember seeing like Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot on like advertised on them and stuff as well, which got me into those games. But I wasn't a very, I didn't have too many friends in like primary school or as a young kid, to be honest. The one I mentioned this guy a lot, but the one friend I did kind of make, who I considered a friend or a good friend anyway, he stole all my favorite shiny Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff, and as soon as we got to high school, we weren't friends or anything anymore. So yeah, bittersweet. He was a decent guy. He was quite fat, but he'd always just say he was big boned, which I always noticed. I was like, "Are you big boned? No, you're actually just fat, fat and ginger." And yeah, like I said, did end up being a nice guy. I think I confronted him about it a few times. He stole my swimming hat as well, and he got away with it. They brought our parents in, and he got away with that. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards I brought up to him. Uh, yeah, never. He said he didn't do it and such, but I know he did. I got a few things stolen in primary school. I remember I used to have my Again, I was never too into cars, but I remember having this really cool Hot Wheels car that was like all silver, and then it was like cyan blue windows. It looked really cool. That's my favorite one. I brought it to school, and it got stolen from the person I sat next to in class. And then I saw it in his pocket, so I at lunchtime I booted him in the balls and got my car back. And then I felt really bad, and because I don't think, I'm not sure he started crying, but I knew, I instantly knew I'd done something wrong. So I was like, oh shit, sorry, please don't tell anyone, please don't tell anyone. Even though he should have been the wrong for stealing my car, I kind of realized the fact I've now got my car back from him, and teachers is going to see it as me kicking him in the balls, and the stealing isn't going to be a thing. The teachers, I've always felt a bit kind of like the teachers never listen to me, the teachers never on my side type of deal. I've always been a bit of a delinquent in that regard. So yeah, I just knew after experiences like that with my best friend stealing stuff from me and the teachers thinking that I was the one kind of lying about it, I've always been quite reluctant to kind of tell anyone about stuff like that and just deal with it myself or just ignore it. But yeah, again, don't want to get any deeper here. But this episode kind of brings up stuff like that. It was a very nostalgic episode, hearing stories of the past with the girls and their friendships. For Korea, I think her name was. You can understand how she feels. All of these guys knowing each other from the past, having their relationships actually lasting quite a bit longer, but not quite as powerful as the group of guys got now. And she's like making those memories. I think that's been a bit of a theme over the last few episodes, hasn't it? Kind of making these memories and making these last, and having these going out on these trips and such, and making these memories, and going to be nostalgic about them in years to come. It's just really cool, isn't it? So yeah, lots of fun little moments today. Do let me know what you guys thought about this episode though down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys have any like near-death experiences like me. That was just a couple. I've got one where I was walking on train tracks as well. That was in the local news, which I had to go to the police station for, which was before I was 18. Luckily enough, I got a few warnings as a teenager, but luckily I've got no record or anything like that. I haven't. As soon as I turn into an adult, I really went from an extroverted kind of person that would just say anything on my mind to very introverted, think about how my words and actions affect people and such. And I think a lot of my experiences as a youth really kind of shaped that turnaround, to be honest. So I'm glad I went through all that, to be honest. But yeah, again, let me know some of your guys' experiences or nostalgic memories in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode